What's up and welcome to One Oak Mentoring, the number one team virtual mentoring service program, entity, corporation, franchise, business of all times, right? I gotta keep telling y'all that, man, because that's my thing, right? So what's up, y'all, man? I'm having a good day, man. I hope y'all guys are, man. Today we gonna be coming back with another version of Group Home Tales. So the name of this Group Home Tales, I guess we're gonna call this a reputation situation. Okay, it just sounds so melodic, right, man? Reputation situation. A while back, man, when I started at this particular group home, when I first got there, we had this staff there. Now I'm like brand new, right? So we had this staff there. I'm not gonna say his name, man. I got a lot of respect for him. I don't want him to feel some type of way. But if he was there, you probably know who it is. But anyway, now this guy right here, man. This guy was like, an all-around guy, man. You know what I mean? So what I mean by all-around guy is like, man, everybody just liked this guy, man. Even me, I thought he was cool, man. Real cool dude. Not condescending. He was like funny, you know what I'm saying? Like smart dude, man, dressed real nice, man, had a real nice car, you know what I mean? The girls loved him, the residents loved him, the admin liked him, the staff, they liked him and everything, right? So, he's a really really cool dude, like, you know what I mean? Like he was almost on my level of what I am now, right? So that kind of like, gives you a scale of, of like how this guy was, right? Another thing was like, he was real good with the kids too, man. Like I said, the kids really respected him and stuff like that. Well, I'm not gonna say but sometimes how he would come off on his kids like real stern. Like, I think he had like maybe some type of military background or something like that. Like he used to be doing all the the marching and all this stuff like that, or whatever comes with the military. But yeah, he had military background, man. So sometimes he'll come in, on certain, now he wasn't always like this, but he was like, sometimes he would have like a heavy tone, like, certain, like, normally he was happy-go-lucky, just like I said, he was a funny guy, crack jokes and stuff like that. But if something was going on that he needed to address, he'd be like, hey boy, hey, what you got going on, boy? Hey, sit down, boy. Don't make me come over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or, hey, didn't I tell you to do this? Huh? Get over there. Like really, I mean, now I'm not saying he was excessive with it, all the time, but sometimes, that's just how, he came off or whatever on people, you know what I mean? But not all the time, but, sometimes he kind of just had just like commanding demeanor towards some of the kids. Like, hey, boy, hey, you know how it is. I guess that's some of that drill sergeant military stuff that might have been instilled in him or something. He was kind of like a Major Payne, like sometimes, like, when he would get in that mode, he was like a Major Payne, like, man, y'all know who Major Payne is. But anyway, besides that, I mean, I really didn't see, much issue or anything, but the guys, they respond, when he would do all that, heavy tone, stuff. Hey, all that stuff like that, which we really not supposed to be doing that in a group home setting. But I mean, it worked for him, so whatever. So, but yeah, man, the guy was like a real like all around guy, like, man, everybody liked him, like the old ladies and stuff. Like nobody never had anything bad to say about this guy, man. Like he was just, most of the time he was upbeat, smiling, come to the old ladies, help them across the street, stuff like that, man. Shaking hands, kissing babies, all kind of stuff like that, right? All around guy, man. Nothing bad to say about the guy at all, right? So cool. And when I work with him, man, I mean, we kind of click, you know what I mean, man? When I work with him, we just stayed out of each other's way and, we had fun on our shift, man. So a real cool dude. So one day, man, this is like, just how I said, this is like in my earlier days. This is when me and my boy Dave, when Dave started to work there, right? So me and Dave, we just ride into work together, just like any other day, you know what I'm saying? So we get into the staff room, just like any other day, like, you know what I mean? So there was this staff in the staff room, this lady, right? And she was like, "Yeah, man, we had a rough night last night, blah 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 blah." Like they always had a rough night, man. So there wasn't any new news, man. Like you're not breaking ground by telling us y'all had a rough night last night. I know y'all had a rough night last night. It's a rough place, so you have a rough night, right? Okay. So and they was just talking, and then all of a sudden, you know how you like kind of halfway paying attention to somebody, and she was like, "Yeah, and blank got hit last night." So me and Dave was kind of like standing beside each other. So like Dave, he's standing right here, I'm right here. So I looked this way towards him, he looked this way towards me, and we was like, "Blank got hit last night." Like we said it at the same time, like just like that. And then the lady was like, "Yeah, he got hit last night." And so me and Dave, we did it again. I look over at him, he look at me, and we're like, "And what?" And the way the lady responded, man, that's just when my morale just kind of like, man. She was just like, I don't know, man, So me and Dave, we look at each other again. Blank got hit, and nobody knows, like, what happened? So we thinking, like, if you hit the way Blank carries himself, it's like, hey, man, you lay a finger on him, man, you gonna be out of there, man. I mean, dismemberment, you know what I mean? Like, period. Like, don't nobody put a finger on him, right? So we're trying to figure out, like, what's going on. So, so we confused, right? So we go on the floor, and, we kind of start getting, like, tidbits of the story, right? And I guess they had a restraint with the kid. A restraint is when, you got to, like, physically hold the kid back from hurting himself or hurting staff or something like that. But I guess, and they had cameras there. So I guess, Blank confronted this kid, and the kid was like, no, or such and such. And, they was like, the kid just hauled off and gave him one, right? Just like, bam, gave him one of those, right? Well, it probably wasn't as hard as it would have been coming from this right here, but y'all kind of catch my drift, right? So he, bam, right in the face, right? And according to the camera, I guess he kind of grabbed him and was trying to restrain him. It seemed like kind of a struggle was going on. You know what I'm saying? A struggle, right? So when you carry yourself a certain way, and now back to this, this dude's description, like he's not a huge muscle building dude, but you could tell, the dude, was in shape or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so you would figure, this guy can, handle these kids easily, right? So we like, wow, man. So that, having now this particular person, he was a part-time worker, like, so he wasn't there every day. I think he might have had something else going on, school or something like that. I ain't trying to put you out like that, man, but, this is just, I ain't say your name, man, but anyway. So that same day, now this is how it just kept getting worse, right? That same day, Human Resources, called over to where we were and was like, "Hey, is Blank there, or do you have Blank's phone number? Because we want to call and make sure he's all right." Make sure he's all right. Now, man, somebody calling and check up on you, man, and make sure you're all right, man. That's not a good sign. It's like, man, something bad happened to you. You feel like you got beat up, man. You just got hurt, terribly, right? So, man, I'm just like, man, this whole situation was just like concerning me, man. Like, man, like, and when you working at a group home, like, let me break this down for you now. You're never supposed to threaten these kids. You're never supposed to intimidate kids or anything like that. But one thing that you have to have an aura of being a successful, residential worker is, the kids know you're not supposed to hurt them, but you still want them to kind of have that mind frame like, I don't know, man. They're not supposed to hurt us, but, so I might just chill out. I don't know this dude right here. Or I don't know this woman right here. They might just flip. They might really be about their life. So you always want to have that aura about yourself. Like, not saying you're going to hurt a kid or nothing like that, but you want a kid to kind of respect you or kind of feel safe. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of where, like, it all comes into, right? And so if a situation happened where a kid, like, hit you or something like that, or, man, things can happen to where, like, you coming to work and you tell the kid, hey, sit down. He was like, man, shut up, man, before I beat you up like what you call it did you, man. Huh? So you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go to work and just like be having that type of, vibe. You know what I mean? So back to the story. So eventually, Blank comes back to work. And man, I never questioned him about it or nothing like that. But I can just tell, man, he just didn't have that no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just didn't have that. I don't know, man. He just didn't have it anymore. You know what I mean? So, in the way he would talk to kids now, it wasn't as confident and as heavy toned. You know what I mean? His tone had softened up just a little bit, man. I ain't saying he was a punk or nothing like that, or he was soft, but his tone kind of softened up a little bit in regards to the guys, and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, man. But he stayed there and worked there a little bit more, but he kind of like slowly like phased out. You know what I mean? Like, we just like stopped coming to work. You know what I mean? So then, somebody had to step in and, and fill that void, man. So, One Oak stepped in and filled that void, that he left, okay? All right. So, but yeah, that's another group home tales, man. That's just kind of just to show you, man, like, being a group home worker is like, man, it's definitely difficult, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, but like if a kid, feels like they could just do anything to you or hit you or anything like that, or something like that happens where a kid just like hits you or, smacks you around or, hits you in the head with a water bottle or something like that, man, and nothing happens, other kids might think like, okay, all right, I can do that to him too. Or they might think like, I don't feel safe with this staff being around, because this kid over here, he bullying me, he bullying staff too, man. I ain't got nobody to run to, right? So y'all gotta just keep that in mind, man. This has been another group home tales from One Oak, man. Y'all have a great day. See y'all guys soon.